I leave everything to you.
Thank you, Mother.
We are so grateful. You both are my family now. This money is for you.
Oh, Mother, thank you so much.
We will never forget this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mother.
It's my pleasure, dear ones. We're so grateful.
Hello, dear viewers, and thank you so much for joining us today. We truly appreciate you taking the time to visit our channel. We wish you and your family peace, health, and happiness. Now, let us invite you to listen to a heartfelt and very real story, one about family, returning home, and a gift given from the deepest place of the heart. After many years of wandering and living a quiet, lonely life, Sam finally decides to return and live with her son Day, her daughter-in-law Huyen, and her young granddaughter Maya. In this simple home, Sam experiences the warmth of family for the first time in many years: shared meals, peaceful evenings, and unconditional love. As she watches Day and Huyen work hard to build their home and raise Maya with kindness and responsibility, Sam realizes that the greatest wealth she has ever had is family. From this sense of peace and trust, she makes a life-changing decision: to write a will and leave all the assets she has accumulated over the years to Day and Huyen. Not out of obligation, but out of love, faith, and a desire to secure her family's future. It is a gift that carries not only financial value, but a lifetime of sacrifice and devotion. If this story touched your heart, please don't forget to like the video, share it with your loved ones, and subscribe to our channel for more emotional, real-life family stories filled with love and hope. Your support means the world to us and helps us continue sharing meaningful stories with you. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video. After many long years of wandering through life, drifting from place to place and carrying her burdens in silence, Sam finally made a decision that would change everything. She chose to come home. The road that led her back was not just a physical journey, but an emotional one, filled with memories, regrets, and quiet hopes. As she stood in front of the modest gate of her son Day's home, her hands trembled slightly. This was the house where Day and his wife Huyen had built their life together, a place Sam had only heard about from afar. She had spent so many years believing she was strong enough to live alone, yet in that moment, she realized how deeply she longed for family. When the gate opened, Sam was greeted by a warm and simple scene that immediately softened her heart. Day was in the yard, fixing a wooden fence with patience and care, while Huyen stood nearby, gently reminding him not to skip lunch. Inside the house, the smell of freshly cooked food drifted through the air, carrying with it a sense of comfort that Sam had not felt in years. And then there was little Maya, small, lively, and full of innocent joy, running across the yard with laughter that rang like music. Without hesitation, the child ran straight toward Sam and wrapped her tiny arms around her legs, as if she had always known her grandmother. That embrace stirred something deep within Sam's heart. For so many years, she had lived a life of constant movement, believing that staying busy would keep loneliness away. She had worked tirelessly, saving every coin, telling herself that money was security, that independence was strength. But standing there, watching her family move naturally around one another, she understood how wrong she had been. True strength was not in standing alone, but in being able to come back, to belong, and to be needed. Days passed, and Sam slowly became part of the household. Each morning, she woke up to the gentle sounds of family life, the clatter of dishes, Huyen's calm voice preparing breakfast, Day's steady footsteps as he got ready for work, and Maya's soft humming as she played with her toys. No one treated her like a burden. Instead, she was welcomed with genuine care. Huyen often asked for her advice in the kitchen, listening attentively as Sam shared old family recipes and stories from the past. Day, though quiet, made sure his mother always had a warm cup of tea by her side. What touched Sam the most were the evenings. After dinner, the family would sit together under the soft glow of the porch light. Day would talk about his work, Huyen would share small worries and simple joys, and Maya would curl up in Sam's arms, slowly falling asleep. In those quiet moments, Sam felt something she had not experienced in decades, a sense of peace. There were no expectations, no judgments, only the steady rhythm of love and understanding. As she watched her son and daughter-in-law care for one another with patience and respect, Sam felt a mixture of pride and regret. Pride because Day had grown into a responsible, kind man who valued family above all else. Regret because she had missed so many moments in his life while chasing survival on her own. Yet neither Day nor Huyen ever blamed her. Their kindness allowed Sam to forgive herself, little by little. For the first time in many years, Sam stopped thinking about where she would go next. She no longer felt the need to keep moving. In this simple home, filled with laughter, warmth, and unconditional love, she realized she had finally arrived at the place her heart had been searching for all along. This was not just her son's house, it was her home. As the days turned into weeks, Sam found herself observing the quiet rhythm of family life with growing reflection. Living under the same roof as Day, Huyen, and little Maya awakened emotions she had long kept buried beneath years of independence and hardship. Each small gesture of kindness, each unspoken understanding between the young couple, gently reshaped her view of what truly mattered. For the first time in a very long while, Sam allowed herself to slow down and think, not about survival, but about legacy. One peaceful evening, after the house had fallen silent, Sam sat alone by the window. The soft glow of the lamp cast long shadows across the room, and the distant sound of crickets filled the air. She held a worn notebook in her hands, one she had carried with her through countless journeys. Inside were notes of expenses, memories of difficult days, and careful records of the savings she had accumulated over a lifetime of relentless work. For years, she had believed this money was her safety net, her proof that all the sacrifices had been worth it. Yet now, sitting in a home filled with love, the numbers on the page felt strangely hollow. Sam's thoughts drifted back to the many years she had spent alone. She remembered the nights when exhaustion was her only companion, the days when she had no one to share her worries with. She had chased financial security with unwavering determination, convincing herself that independence meant freedom. But freedom, she now realized, had cost her time. Time with her son, time with family, time with warmth she could never buy back. From her seat by the window, Sam looked toward the closed door of Day and Huyen's room. She knew how hard they worked to build a stable life, how carefully they planned for Maya's future, and how little they ever asked for themselves. Huyen managed the household with quiet strength, never complaining, always placing family first. Day carried the weight of responsibility on his shoulders, yet never forgot to show respect and care toward his mother. Watching them, Sam felt a deep sense of trust settle in her heart. That night, a clear thought formed within her, a thought that brought both relief and certainty. If all her years of struggle had created anything meaningful, it should now serve the people who gave her peace. Slowly, she opened her notebook and turned to a blank page. With steady hands, she began to write. Each word of the will was carefully chosen, not out of obligation, but out of love. She decided to leave all her accumulated assets to Day and Huyen, entrusting them not only with her savings, but with the story of her life's labor. As she wrote, Sam did not feel fear. Instead, she felt light, as if a burden she had carried for decades was finally being set down. This was not a farewell, nor was it a sign of weakness. It was an act of faith, a mother placing her trust in the next generation. She believed Day and Huyen would use what she left behind not for luxury, but for stability, for Maya's education, and for a future built on the same values she had learned the hard way. When the final sentence was written, Sam closed the notebook and pressed her palm against its cover. Her eyes filled with quiet tears, not of sadness, but of gratitude. Gratitude for having lived long enough to see her family united, for being welcomed without judgment, and for finding a place where her heart could finally rest. In the silence of that night, Sam understood something profound. Wealth was not measured by the numbers she had spent years protecting, but by the love she was now surrounded by. And by choosing to pass on everything she had built, she was not losing anything at all. She was, at last, giving her life's work its true purpose. The morning Sam chose to share her decision arrived quietly, like any other day. The sunlight filtered softly through the curtains, and the house was filled with familiar sounds. The gentle clinking of dishes, Maya's laughter echoing down the hallway, and the calm voices of De and Huyen as they prepared breakfast together. Nothing seemed unusual, yet Sam's heart was steady with purpose. She knew this was the right moment. After the meal, Sam asked De and Huyen to sit with her in the living room. Her voice was gentle, but there was a seriousness in her expression that immediately caught their attention. Maya played nearby, unaware of the importance of the moment, her small hands stacking wooden blocks on the floor. Sam reached for the notebook she had kept close since the night she made her decision. Holding it carefully, she took a deep breath and began to speak. She told them about her years of wandering, the hardships she had faced, and the lessons she had learned along the way. She spoke not to seek sympathy, but to explain the meaning behind what she was about to do. Then, with calm certainty, Sam placed the notebook into De's hands. She explained that it contained her will and that she had decided to leave everything she had accumulated over the years to him and Huyen. For a moment, the room fell completely silent. De stared at the notebook, his hands trembling slightly. Huyen's eyes widened in disbelief, her breath catching as she tried to process Sam's words. Neither of them had ever expected such a gift. Their lives together had been built on effort and modest hopes, not on inheritance. The idea that Sam would entrust them with her entire life savings overwhelmed them both. Huyen was the first to react. Tears filled her eyes as she gently shook her head, reaching for Sam's hand. She told her that they never welcomed her into their home for any reward, that having her there was already more than enough. De, struggling to find his voice, finally stood up and bowed his head deeply before his mother. His gratitude was heavy with emotion, mixed with love, respect, and a sense of responsibility he felt deeply in his chest. Sam listened quietly, her heart full. She reassured them that this decision was not made out of obligation, nor was it a repayment of kindness. It was her choice, born from peace and trust. She wanted them to have security, to worry less about the future, and to raise Maya without the fear of uncertainty she herself had lived with for so long. More than anything, she wanted them to know that she believed in them. As emotions filled the room, little Maya wandered over and climbed into Sam's lap, wrapping her arms around her grandmother's neck. The simple, innocent gesture broke the remaining tension. Laughter and tears blended together, and the atmosphere shifted from shock to warmth. Sam held Maya close, feeling the child's steady heartbeat, and smiled through her tears. That moment felt timeless. The walls of the house seemed to hold the love that surrounded them, sealing the family together in quiet understanding. No one spoke about numbers or properties. The value of the gift was not measured in money, but in the trust and love it represented. In the days that followed, life continued much as it always had. Meals shared, work done, laughter heard in every corner of the home. Yet something had changed. There was a deeper sense of unity, a shared promise to honor Sam's sacrifices, not with words, but with how they lived. De and Huyen made a silent vow to care for Sam as she had cared for them, to build a future rooted in gratitude and compassion. For Sam, watching her family move forward together brought her profound peace. She no longer worried about what she would leave behind because she could see it in front of her every day. Love, trust, and togetherness. This was the true legacy she had been searching for all her life.
Hello, xin chào tất cả các khán giả của kênh Nai Single RV. Vậy là câu chuyện của chúng ta ngày hôm nay đã kết thúc tại đây. Trong câu chuyện của chúng ta ngày hôm nay đã kể về nội dung đó chính là việc mẹ của Đệ, chính cũng là mẹ chồng của Huyền, đã viết di chúc, lập di chúc để lại toàn bộ tài sản mà bà có cho Huyền và Đệ. Đó là bao gồm rất là nhiều tiền, vàng bạc và cả những kỷ vật quý báu của gia đình bà. Huyền và Đệ thì rất là bất ngờ và cũng rất là xúc động vì mẹ của Đệ đã dành rất là nhiều tình cảm về tinh thần cũng như là vật chất cho Huyền và Đệ. Huyền rất là biết ơn mẹ của Đệ và Huyền cũng coi mẹ Đệ như là mẹ ruột của chính cô. Cô sẽ tận tâm báo hiếu mẹ Đệ cũng như chăm sóc bà và Đệ và cũng như bé May A. Cả gia đình sẽ chung sống hạnh phúc bên nhau. Mọi tình tiết hấp dẫn về câu chuyện của gia đình Huyền, Đệ và bà Sam và bé May A sẽ còn được kể ở các câu chuyện tiếp theo sẽ được phát sóng hàng ngày trên kênh Live Single RV. Các bạn đừng quên bấm vào nút subscribe để đăng ký kênh sẽ nhận được thông báo mới nhất về các câu chuyện sẽ được phát sóng hàng ngày trên kênh nha. Đặc biệt, đừng quên like, share và để lại bình luận góp ý ở dưới video. Mọi góp ý của các bạn sẽ giúp mình cải thiện các nội dung trên kênh hay hơn nữa để phục vụ khán giả. Cảm ơn các bạn rất nhiều vì đã luôn theo dõi và ủng hộ mình. Thanks for watching my video. Please continue support my channel and subscribe my channel everyone. Bye bye and see you soon tomorrow.